Good afternoon, gladiators. We who are about to play salute you! Alright. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Oli Plays. This is episode 33, can you believe it? So we're powering along. Today I'm playing a game that I've only played very briefly a couple of days ago. It's a game I picked up on Steam a few weeks back. It's called Aggelos, and you probably haven't heard of it. But you may have heard of the game that it is essentially a tribute to. And that game is, as I'm fond of saying, one of my favorites. It's Wonderboy in Monsterland. Now, we're pretty much going to go into this one with very fresh eyes. I don't know much about it. It came out recently on Steam and it will be out on Switch later this year. It's from a publisher called P-Cube. And it's from a studio called Storybird. And from what I can see from the first few minutes of playing, it looks like a lot of fun. So let's get into it and see how we go. All right, Aggelos. So let's press enter. It has that classic 8-bit sound for the menu controls. What are our options? Controls. They all seem fine to me. Quite a lot of options there. I think you can play this with the keyboard, with the joystick, but I read that a few people had some issues, so I'm happy to go with the controls. Adventure. New game. It looked like an ordinary day. But something was drawing you towards the western woods. As if your destiny was awaiting you there. Here we are. As so often in the JRPG platformer style of game, you start off in your own room. These nice little controls here. A little bit slidey, but kind of fun. Oh, that's the pause. Space is pause. So we will return, of course. Return. Jump is... of course. Alright, it's K. So we can run, we can slash and jump. Yeah, this feels very much like Wonderboy. You can't slash those potions, which is a shame. You can duck, you can jump. Let's head off. Nice classic 8-bit chiptune sounds. Even the backgrounds and the sprites seem quite reminiscent of Wonderboy. Certainly the colors of those trees and everything. So you seem to have a little experience bar up there. You can gain levels once you kill enough monsters. And he drops some coins as well. Let's head in here. Oh, now this cave, it pretty much is straight out of Wonderboy and Monsterland. Complete with the bats that will dip down. Bats! I hate bats! Always with the bats. And a snake, which is, man, that is pretty much Wonderboy. Which is no bad thing. I loved Wonderboy and Monsterland. I did a video on Wonderboy and Monsterland earlier in the series, very early in fact, and I was very rusty at it, but as a kid I had Wonderboy and Monsterland on the SEGA Master System, and I must have finished that game in probably 100 times, because back then you only had a couple of games as a kid. You might get 1 or 2 games a year and you would play them and play them to death. So we got some kind of medicinal herb there. Monsters respawn when you come out. Let's head. Help! Help! Deckard Cain, help! You must find your wrath in the Heraldric Cube. No, that's Diablo, of course. Girl. Save me, please! I'm going to use Deckard Cain's voice for the girl.
Give me the girl. I have nothing against you.
You're refusing? In that case, prepare to die. Is that the girl or is it me saying that, my Wonderboy? I'm confused. Let's just take this guy on. Nice sprite. He's a lovely little bit of pixel art here, and the classic sort of, you know, I'm gonna say 16 colors because it's more than 8. It seems like, yeah. I'm fine, thanks. I didn't ask if you were fine, but that's nice. I'm fine, thank you so much. I'm Princess Liz of Lumen. Have you found Giraffe? You must confront Mephisto. Alright. Valiant kidnapped me some time ago. Escape, the kingdom is in danger. Visit the king. What? I have to take shelter here? Well, that seems a little suspicious. Very well. Right. So, like, okay, it's a cave in the forest to the west. So, in this modern era, it seems a bit ridiculous to send the princess back to wait in your house when she's probably perfectly capable of adventuring herself. So that looks like a save point, because it says save point. Save game? Yeah, sure. I like the soundtrack. We'll keep going. Whoa, a giant friendly looking bear. Oh, what? The flower's not friendly. Bear isn't friendly either. So, cool little bit. Now, classic Wonderboy didn't have parallax scrolling like this, so that's nice. It actually feels a little bit like one of the more obscure Wonderboy games, Wonderboy 5, which I believe was called Monster World. Not to be confused with Wonderboy 4, which I think was also called, it was maybe Monster Lair or something like that, and was a shoot 'em up game where you rode a cloud. But Wonderboy 5 was really cool, and it had this sort of left-right, almost light metroidvania elements where you couldn't go to certain areas until you had a key or a pair of swimming boots and so on. Now, I wonder if that water is dangerous to us. We can't really make that jump, so we're gonna have to dive in and see. Geronimo! No, seem fine underwater. I'm guessing that maybe we can come back and smash those bricks later, because often in these games you have destructible bricks. Okay, we got a heart there. There's a little hermit crab. So this game, here's a bit of trivia for you, was made, if I'm not mistaken, I believe I saw on the logo earlier, it was made in a program called Fusion by Click Team. And that was originally known as Multimedia Fusion, and before that was known as, I think it was the Games Factory. And why this is an interesting trivia fact is one of the very first programs that I ever used to make games was called the Games Factory, and it was really cool. Back in the day, it had drag and drop scripting. Oh, we just leveled up, that's cool. And animations, and you could add music, sounds easily. You didn't need to know any programming, but if you did, there was you could basically put scripts together to give your enemies AI and stuff. And this seems to be made in a more advanced version of that, the latest version of Fusion, which I haven't played with in many, many years, but I used to love back then. So it seems it's quite capable of making nice 2D games. So I'm going to try and get out of here. Climb up. Oh yeah, so we didn't have to go down that far. Whoa, flying fish. Yeah, I love the sprites. They've done a really good job of giving them some nice personality. It's kind of maybe a tribute to the classic flying fish from Super Mario Brothers. Die! Whoa! Back down again, damn it. Damn it, sir! I cannot swim! Yet I can run on the bottom of the water with no problems. Maybe you get some kind of swimming boots later. Now, I don't know much about this game. It's, damn it. There's a chest up there. I know what we can do. We're going to drop down and get that chest. I don't really know how well it's been received. Early Steam reviews seem favorable, and that's good. I'm always very encouraging of people making more games like Wonderboy. I read a comment... Oh, damn it. I read a comment recently saying, you know, typical, no Wonderboy games in 30 years since, you know, Wonderboy 5. And all of a sudden we get 3 in one go, because not only did this come out, but the Dragon's Trap was remastered recently with the creator of Wonderboy's blessing. I believe he had some involvement, and that was really cool. You can go down here. Ah, Damn it, we can't make that jump. Alright, let's keep going. And there was another one, which I believe maybe the Dragon's Curse or something similar. Or Monsterboy it's called. And it... Damn it. This is riveting viewing. It looks like we got low on health. Hopefully we have a rejuvenation potion. Do we go for the... No, let's just leave the chest for now. Let's keep going. Alright, we've arrived at the castle. Nice big castle. Very tall walls. The door is locked. But I must enter! I must! Oh, cool music. But Wonderboy... Back in the day, I explained this in the Wonderboy video that I made. When I was young, I thought Wonderboy was hugely popular. And I didn't realize it wasn't... It was a bit of a cult classic, but... Because I had a SEGA and not a Nintendo, I thought that everyone else had a SEGA and that Wonderboy was as big as Super Mario, but not even close. Very, very much a cult figure, but not truly in the public consciousness in the way that Super Mario was. And SEGA, who originally came up with Wonderboy, or originally published it, they kind of abandoned him. I mean, it's kind of sad. You look at Sonic and the awful franchise that that's become and the millions of games that came out for that. Wonderboy only got a few, but I thought Wonderboy was way better. Try to always Herb. Great, we got a herb. I think that must be the medicinal herb that we used just then when I wasn't really paying attention. Which is very similar to Wonderboy in Monsterland, where you have a little potion. If you run out of health, you can use it once. Chat to this guy. Check your map in the menu. Menu. Let's check our map. Oh, wrong button. Map. The controls are a little bit... Oh, there we go. Cool. So we're in... I love these overworld maps. This one is no exception. Very cool. So there's obviously a fire world and a snow world and an underwater world. We're in the just west of the village of Bosco. And it's our equipment screen. Basic sword and armor. So it's cool. It seems to have some kind of light RPG elements, which are always welcome in platform games like these. A little bit reminiscent also of Zelda 2, which was a bit of an infamous Zelda, even though it was side-scrolling and very, very tough. Small potion. No, I don't really know what I do. Well, no, we won't get a potion because I'd rather have some armor or something if it's possible. There's a monkey on the roof. So they might steal stuff. So we're going to maybe steer away from the monkey. Chat to that little guy. So we can jump up and down. Oh, here's the armor shop. I wonder though, if we do go up here, should we just visit the monkey anyway? Yeah, there's nothing to say. He didn't steal anything on us that we know of course. Into the armory. Alright, let's see if we can upgrade our sword. Steel sword 8 gems. That's a deal. You got it. Okay, and the armor cannot afford. So we will equip this weapon. Steel sword, cool. So just basically double our old attack. If you haven't played the old Wonderboy in Monsterland or Wonderboy in Monster World, I believe it's called. If you haven't played those and you like this one, give those ones a try. They are awesome. I actually fired up the RetroPie, basically a little Raspberry Pi with an emulation system on it to play old SEGA or Nintendo games and so on. I played this one at the beginning of last year, I believe, around Christmas. Not this game, but Wonderboy in Monster World. And I'd never had it before because it wasn't available to us in Australia when it first came out. I think it was a Japan only game, but it's awesome. It's really cool. It's quite a big game, and there's really just wonderful sprites and some great sort of little role-playing elements and so on. I also recommend you getting the Dragon's Trap remake you can get on PlayStation, on PC, and maybe even the GameCube. I mean the GameCube, not the GameCube, the Switch. I'm probably not going to finish this game on the PC, but I'm actually looking forward to buying it on the Switch because this is my kind of game and I think it would be really excellent on a handheld platform. Let's go up there and see if we can land on that chest. Cool, so that gave us some experience. We'll dig down into these caves. Oh. It's really cool. It feels very much like playing Wonderboy in how it moves, how it behaves and everything. But just with these all new maps, and I'm a fan of that. You know, not everything has to be fancy 3D graphics and particle effects and that kind of thing. I'm a huge fan of this retro revival that you see these days. You know, a lot of these old platform games can be quite generic, and you know, this one so far is a little generic, but it is also, it's Wonderboy, and that's for me great. I mean, I love the little character. He's got some cool little animation frames. There's a lot to like. I'd encourage you to come out and buy this game for sure. Well worth it. Smash the bricks. Oh, a locked door. Don't think we've got a key for you. So that's the metroidvania element where, you know, you come back once you've got the key. Oh, that's a weird looking jelly. Whoa, ho, ho. He does not muck around. He's big. Bats. Problem with bats, and I've said this before, is they come at you on this weird sort of sine wave curve, which is very hard to defend against. Oh, we can't kill those things. Oh, it looks like there could be a boss battle there. Are you ready? We who are about to die, salute you! That's not a boss battle, or is it? Hey guy, combat instructor, alright. You got the mole scroll. Cool, downward attack. So we've got a new ability. That's cool. That's the Rastan, as I mentioned in my old Rastan video. I love it. Really cool. So already this has a few things that classic Wonderboy didn't have. A few extra attacks and so on. Which is great. So yeah, we're going to go down. Whoa, 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 whoa. We've used our medicinal herb. It's getting serious now. Whoa. Now, do we want to get out of here? Yeah, I should get that. Can we get out of here? Can I jump on those things? Oh, you can't. Oh. Or maybe I can do the downward attack on them. That would be interesting. Oh, no! Do I have to go out the way we came, perhaps? Because we're just going in circles now. That might just be an area that I can't get to yet. So we will return, climb our way out. And continue along our journey. Yeah, look, as I keep saying, I'm all for Wonderboy. If you can keep making Wonderboy games, you got a buyer in me. Simplistic color palette, but it's really nice. The sprites are really nicely done. Music's done. It's very faithful, and they've done a great job. I'm a huge fan, I gotta say. I hope they do really well. Ah, a monkey. Don't you dare steal anything. I guess you gotta give the monkeys something later. Well, it looks like our adventure is about to end. We've got only a little bit of health left. There must be somewhere back here now we can go that we have that down attack. Wah! Save the game. Got our health back. That's nice. Often it's a good idea to explore areas that you've just been to once you get new abilities. Still can't go back to the castle. Might try and see what's in this chest this time. Yeah, you know what? I think I've made a mistake. I feel like the there's more in that cave to explore. There we go. Hey, that was worth it. Tons of coins. I always find it funny that you can't swim in these games. You can run. It's actually harder to run along the bottom of the surface of an ocean or a lake than it is to swim. Like, I'd almost kind of go, if you're making a game like this, make it so when you dive in the water, you float. And then once you learn the next ability, you can dive down. And then once you have the third ability, you can stay underwater and breathe and walk along the bottom. That's what I would do as a game designer. Remind me, actually, I have to show you a game in the next few videos that I originally made in the early version of this Click Team Fusion software when it was called Games Factory. And it was actually known as Swords and Sandals, but it was nothing like Swords and Sandals. It was a platform game, but it was the first name I chose for the series. Anyway, look, probably seen about enough with this for now. I'm a fan. I love it. Aggelos by Storybird Studios and published by P-Cube. You can pick it up on Steam and Switch later this year. If you love platform games and JRPGs and the 8-bit era, I highly recommend it. Great game. Alright, until next time, bye for now.